It's day 3 of the 2020 Challenge Tour Grand Final. The sun is out here at Tee Golf and Country Club, and it's Alex Canappa who sits atop the leaderboard on 11 under par. Can he continue his scintillating form after that second round 63, or will one of the chasing pack make their move?
Yes, just 36 holes left of the Road to Mallorca season before we crown both the Grand Final champion and the season-long rankings #1. And how good it feels to be on this beautiful Mediterranean island at this wonderful venue at Tee Golf and Country Club, playing host to our contenders, all here to get their hands on the final piece of silverware this year. We're just a short drive from the Mallorcan capital, Palma. It's an undulating layout, and Anthony Wall, a change of conditions out there today.
Yes, absolutely, Dom. The wind will pick up this afternoon, and a good score will be hard to find.
One or two tucked away pins. Blue skies out there today. It was all a little bit grey and drizzly yesterday, but it was a good day for Matt Ford, the Englishman, who's 4th on the Road to Mallorca rankings and looking to stay inside the top 5 to get some starts on the European Tour next season. Beautiful tee shot at the par 3 6. One of 5 birdies on the card. He shot a round of 67 to lie 7 under par inside the top 5.
Enrico Danito playing uphill at the 17th. He raced home with 3 birdies in the last 6 for a 68. And that moved him to 7 under. A tie for a 4th going into the weekend.
All smiles for the man from Rome. And not too bad for Nicholas Norgard Muller from Denmark as well. He nearly canned it for an eagle 2 at 14. It bounced back off the bottom of the flag, stick to there, then he holed the birdie putt as well. Good back 9 for him. He's at 7 under par as well. He's 43rd on the Road to Mallorca. Needs a big finish this weekend.
Bjorn Helgen made 2 here yesterday at 12. And this one bounded all the way up pretty close. He would knock that in, sign for a 67, and he would be 9 under. Sitting pretty.
In a share of second place alongside Richard Mansell, the Englishman who was locked away in his hotel room for 10 days after a positive COVID test, came out on Tuesday, flew here, and he's flown out of the blocks. 66, 67 so far. So, as I say, he's at 9 under par as well.
Alexander Canappa had a tough shot on 18. Short-sided himself, but read it beautifully. And that one dropped in. Wonderful 63 to lead at 11 under.
What a finish, birdie, birdie, eagle for a man who's already won twice on the Challenge Tour in his career, albeit 4 years ago. It is Canappa by 2 from Bjorn Helgen and Richard Mansell. Among those at 6 under par, Tyler Koivisto, the American school teacher, who won the Northern Ireland Open in his very first Challenge Tour start. He had a poor front 9 yesterday, but he came home nicely, rescued his round, 69, and he's still very much in the competition. He's with Kit.
Tyler, you were 2 under par for the tournament with 6 holes to go in your second round. How big were those 4 birdies you picked up?
Those were really good to get. My brother Mark is on the bag this week, and we just kind of had a little chat after that double, and I was able to just kind of bounce back and keep fighting, and we just kind of wanted to put ourselves in contention here on the weekend and see what we can do. So.
5 shots back at the halfway stage. Do you need to take a more aggressive mentality now?
No, I don't think so. I think I just do what I have been doing all along. There's holes that you can be aggressive on, and then some that you got to really plot your way around and choose wisely. So
great stuff. Hope it pulls off for you today.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let's check out the early action.
Well, among those going along very nicely, thank you, the Welshman David Boot. His approach at the first, last man in the field this week, and taking advantage as well. A birdie there would take him to 6 under par. Needs to win this week, really, if he's going to climb inside the top 5 and grab some European Tour starts next season.
Yeah, Santiago Tario laid up at the second, par 5, quite a short hole. And that's actually his first birdie at the hole all week, and that would move him to 7 under.
This is Christian Krogh Johannesson, shot a 65 yesterday to vault up the leaderboard. And a birdie there At the second hole, the par 5 takes him to 7 under as well, alongside Tario.
Down the left-hand side at the first for Nicholas Moller. Never easy coming out of the wispy stuff. It's a front pin location also, so a tough one to judge. But a perfect start, that would move him to 8 under also. Happy with that.
Back to the first tee, final group getting underway. Here is Mansell.
Quite an open tee shot, Tom. A little bit down the hill, not much really to worry about. Bunker down the right.
He's third on the Road to Mallorca standings, but where he is right at the moment, in a share of second place, Mansell projected to top the season-long Road to Mallorca, to climb above Marcel Schneider and Pep Angles.
Good swing from Helgren. Picks the tee up pretty quick, so clearly likes it. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, big bounces. Anyone who gets past the bunker really leaves himself only a pitch. And that's one of the longest we've seen so far this week. Perfect.
On and on it bounds, and here's our leader, Knapper.
Quite a long swing. Probably does rely on timing a little. He knows how to get it done. He's been around a long time now. Good, strong player. That's perfectly in the centre of the fairway.
He's a long way behind, certainly Helgren, isn't he? Didn't quite get the bounce forward, but still in pretty good shape.
Now, David Boot up ahead at the third. Quite a short par 4. Second shot's up the hill. Pins on a bit of a ledge today on the left-hand side. He's just judged that perfectly. What a shot.
Well, he made birdie at 1. He didn't get a birdie there at the par 5 second hole, but an excellent opportunity there for Boot to go 2 under through the first 3. Back to the first and the second for Knapper, 15th in the Road to Mallorca rankings.
Just about 80 yards away. Good number, really, for a lob wedge. And then you see the control, keeping it on the fairway. And that's pretty well judged, considering I can't imagine he played from there in practice. Still no wind to speak of.
Mansell.
Just in the first cut, so this is just a fraction harder, but probably his angle is better. He's almost trying to run this one a little bit more off the front. Oh, a lot of spin. Must have struck that beautifully. Fine shot.
He does like the start here. He has gone birdie on Thursday and Friday. Can he do it again out there today? Helgren last to play.
Longest of the 3, Dom, here. Important with the short ones to keep it short in the backswing and really accelerate through. Possibly almost a little bit too close there with the front pin. It looks nice and relaxed. Good shot, mind.
Up to the third, we saw the approach shot, surely a birdie for David Boot. Played in the 2017 Walker Cup before turning professional, and that is a good start. 2 under through 3, he moves it to 7 under par, which is 4 behind our leader, Knapper.
Third shot for Matt Ford. That's his game, that wedge in his hand. He'll be very good with those clubs. He'll be using a measuring device or 2. Oh, another one that hits the pin. We've seen a few of those this week. A little unlucky, if anything.
He's done well, hasn't he? 4th in the Road to Mallorca standings. Trying to stay inside that top 5. Helgren for the birdie at 1.
But just outside that sort of magic 12-foot number. That one just eases down towards the right. Easily done. Quite a straightforward first hole, so you are looking to birdie that one in truth.
Christian Krogh Johannesson into the third.
And another good one into the third. Playing it past and spinning it back. Such a valuable practice round. You get to see those sort of things and you chart those in your books. As we look up the hill to Alexander Knapper here. Good chance here. Needs to be aggressive with this one. Wow. Was never on line. Did bobble coming out of the fringe.
Putted beautifully yesterday. That was not his best. So it's a par at the first. Stays 11 under. And still leading the way after that wonderful 63 yesterday.
Left below right for Matt Ford. His putting grip. Eyes over the ball. It's been a good putter. Just see there, a bit of grain. Just tug that left early on.
What causes that then, Anthony?
Just a slight misstrike, maybe. Catching it maybe a little bit thin, if anything. Just get an early bob, which doesn't roll quite purely enough early on, and it just loses the early swing. This part of the world, there is a bit of grain on the greens, but not too much this time of year. You can just see the different patchiness on the greens there in the colour.
Rather ho-hum par there for Matt Ford, having hit the pin with his approach shot to Christopher Blomstrand, the Swede. Nicely done. He goes to 5 under. Another very experienced player riding high on the leaderboard.
I like this fella's game. Mollett hasn't really taken advantage of the par 5s this week, and he is pretty much at the top of the leaderboard, so watch out the weekend. That's very well done. Good birdie. Moves to 9 under.
Yeah, well done him. Blomstrand, by the way, made a double bogey at the second, the par 5, so he's fighting his way back to Johannesson at the third. Not a problem at all. 2 in a row for the Norwegian, so he advances to 8 under, and he's making his way nicely up that leaderboard.
Quite a soft start the first 4 or 5 holes. So we've seen many birdies as Mansell rolls that one in again, and that's 3 in a row, 3 days running.
He certainly likes the start here, doesn't he? That moves him to 10 under par and within 1 of Alexander Knapper at the top. Then it's Moller and Helgren, and Johannesson 3 behind at 8 under par.
The leaders are walking down the second fairway behind me, a par 5, plenty of scoring opportunities. Join us after the break to see how the rest of their rounds unfold.
Day 3 of the Challenge Tour Grand Final from Tee Golf and Country Club. We'll get back to the action very shortly. First, a chance for you to feast your eyes on this beautiful Mediterranean island where the Road to Mallorca season comes to a conclusion for the 2nd straight year.
Para nosotros es fundamental que el Grand Tour esté.
For us, it's fundamental that the Challenge Tour and the Grand Final is here in Mallorca, as it allows us to showcase our golf courses as well as the island and be capable to demonstrate that we are in a position to host events with maximum security. And furthermore, that we have an island ready and safe to host events, but also to welcome tourists and to be able to reopen the island for the tourism season in the best possible way.
Well, no birdie at the par 5, second for Matt Ford, but at the third, how good is this? Wonderful stuff from the Englishman, and he gets his first birdie of the day and moves along to 8 under par and into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it indeed. Now Santiago Tario managed to birdie the second. Real outside chance here. But it just drops in the front door. And he also birdied the 7th, so a great start for the Spaniard.
Moving on to 9 under par. Just 2 off the lead. David Boot. This is to go 3 under through 4. What a hot start from the Welshman. He gets it to 8 under. There are some chances at these early holes, sporting the nice Movember moustache as well.
Now Knapper missed a chance for birdie at the first. Just squeezes by there as well. So 2 past the start for our leader.
And 2 good chances gone. Even with his experience, maybe 1 or 2 nerves out there today. I'm sure he'll settle down soon. Up to the third, Mansell's third shot. Splashing out of the sand. It was a birdie start, by the way, for the Englishman again here at Tee Golf and Country Club. He did not hold that putt for par, and a bogey 5 means that Mansell drops back to 10 under. One behind Knapper. Then it's Boot, Tario and Nicholas Moller. All pars so far for Alexander Knapper. Here he is at the par 3-6, slightly uphill. Breeze just beginning to get up a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. The conditions are changing, so the course will play, no question, harder. Birdies will be harder to come by. It's got a cold northerly breeze, and the tees are quite sheltered, so picking the wind isn't easy with such a cloudless day.
Mansell. Well, I'm not sure if he was distracted or just looking around for the breeze and thinking he didn't quite see it that way. Not his best iron shot, though.
Yeah, he's been pretty good all week with the irons. Maybe just out of sync a little bit. Sometimes you turn the shoulders a little bit early on the way down. Ball fans out right. Now Hellgren, he struggled early on with his iron play. Went to the range early on Thursday and Friday and felt like he was somewhere nearer where he needs to be. This is downwind this hole today, up the hill at number 6. That's a good shot. Get it all the way on top.
He's been around for a while, Bjorn Hellgren. Not one to date on the Challenge Tour. As we go up to Nicholas Moller, the Dane at the 7th. Short par 4, tight dogleg.
Runs in the same direction as the 6th. That's a club long, so that's also downwind. So maybe just slightly misjudging that one, and that's going to be an interesting pitch back. Just a steady climb.
Over to the par 3 9th. You play over water, over a valley. It's actually tee forward a little bit today, so it's only just over 190 yards here for David Boot.
We actually watched a few early on, and picking the club here was quite difficult. Wind is definitely swirling on this different tee today. Proving quite tough for the players to judge that one.
Long range birdie putt for Richard Mansell.
Putting into the shadow, Dom, it's never easy. But that's well judged, as good as you ever do, really. Just get it inside that 3-4 foot range. Take the pressure off when you've hit such a poor iron shot.
Look at this.
Yeah, tough one. You've got to just make sure you, if you are going for the parachute shot, you've got to hit through it. No real choice. He obviously had the bunker slightly in his way. Could have maybe gone right, but probably would have left a similar distance. That one's coming up the hill, so an easier putt there.
They are definitely firming up these greens. Here's Tario at the 9th, splashing out of the green side bunker. And he's left himself with a lot of work to secure his par. No drop shots on the cards so far today for the Spaniard, whose girlfriend Noelia is caddying for him this week. He said she plays a big part in his game. Up to 80%, he said, of what he achieves out there is down to her.
Just slightly out of position here at 7 for Matt Ford. But you see there, played that beautifully. Real soft pair of hands, and then let the face just hold the angle through the shot, but kept the speed up, and that was beautifully judged. Gets away with his part.
Back to the 6th and a chance here for Knapper. Remember, all pars to this point so far, and he missed a couple of good chances early on.
Often underread these when you're in the shadow. That's tracking. Yeah, well done. Walks it in. So his day's off and running.
12 under. Opens up a 2-shot lead at the top. Here's Boot to get to 10 under at the 9th.
Tee shot's probably where he was aiming, really. Centre of the green, leave himself under the hole. There's not much behind this pin on the left. A little bit tentative. It's quite a steep climb, though, to that pin today.
Now, this is a slick one for Hellgren at the 6th. It might not look it, but it's downhill and quick.
Yeah, and coming through the shadows we've talked about before, it's tough to really judge the pace and the slope. And there you see he just trundles on, and that's outside the leather. That's no gimme.
Well, from Hellgren at 6, let's go to Moller for par at 7.
Yeah, this wouldn't be what he was expecting for par with a wedge in your hand. Just inside the marker, you see, just catches the left side. And that'll feel like a birdie.
Yeah, keeps the card neat and tidy. No drop shots after the birdie start for the Dane, who had an excellent season on the Nordic League. Something like 13 top 10s in the season. I'm afraid it's going to be a drop shot for Tario.
Tough left below right grip there. The left hand seems to almost block the right. I do wonder on the right to left putt whether he actually can release it as much as you need. He's almost cutting it into the hole.
He falls back to 8 under par, as David Boot just tidies up for his par at 9. And that is a good outward journey for the Welshman. 4 birdies, no dropped shots. Excellent stuff.
Return par putt for Helgren. No birdies to this point. He also doubled the 5th. So going the wrong direction. Stays 7 under. Got some work to do.
Mansell from just a yard or so. Yeah, no problem at all. Short walk to the 7th tee, the dog leg. And as they head there, we'll check in on the leaderboard, which shows that Alexander Knapper has a 2-shot lead over Richard Mansell. Boot and Muller are 3 shots in arrears, and we'll have more from Tee Golf and Country Club and the Challenge Tour Grand Final when we come back. The breeze is freshening on day 3 of this year's Challenge Tour Grand Final from Tee Golf and Country Club. Some are prospering though, including the Englishman Harry Ellis, who won the Amateur Championship in 2017. Here he is at the 11th. That takes him 3 under on his round and to 6 under for the championship.
Our first look of Andre Lisa from the Czech Republic. Managed to get it out in 32, 3 under. And another birdie at 11. No drop so far. He moves to 7 under.
Ellis, Lisa and Robin Peterson from Sweden, all playing in the same group and all pulling each other along very nicely out there today.
Often happens on a Saturday. It's quite nice to get 3 playing well together and plenty of smiles before the pressure of Sunday.
That's a birdie for Sweden's Peterson at the 14th, and he moves to 6 under par.
It's a harder day to score today on Saturday. The wind picking up. Back of the green for Muller. Hit it into the par 5 downwind. A good birdie there.
He's a strong player, isn't he, Anthony?
He certainly is. He's not really been playing the par 5s that well this week, but he's still there.
Not so good progress, I'm afraid, for Bjorn Helgren, who double bogeyed the 5th. He dropped a shot at the 8th, but a bounce back birdie at 9 as well from distance, so he returns to 7 under par and he needs a big back 9.
Ninth par 3, quite a tough hole. Par putt here for Mansell, and sadly that will be his 2nd drop shot of the round. Just needs to steady himself.
Yeah, he's back to 9 under par where he started the day. This final group not really making the progress they would have hoped at the moment. But remember, tricky conditions. Knapper, this is for par, and I'm afraid that is his first dropped shot today. He bogeyed the 10th as well to fall back to 10 under par. And at that 10th hole, Richard Mansell made a triple bogey. Real struggle for the Englishman. He's in trouble at 11 as well. Semi-plug lie at the par 5. And I can tell you he failed to get up and down. So another dropped shot. He falls back to 5 under, which is 5 shots off the pace. Needs to turn things around, and he needs to turn them around pretty quickly. He's drifted out of contention. It's Knapper who leads from Muller at the moment, and Lisa going along well.
Andre, how do you assess your round to this point?
I mean,
no mistakes so far, so pretty well done. Had a one like really good putt on 7, so it kept me going.
How satisfying is it to keep a clean card on a day that's got increasingly blustery and tricky out here?
I mean, I didn't expect that wind because we played like first, let's say 5 holes with no wind, and in the second it started to blow like a lot. So it changed a bit, but I'm kind of doing all right.
How pleased are you that you, being a little bit of an earlier starter, haven't had all of the wind like the late groups are going to have?
I mean, it helps, especially on the holes like 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Because these holes we play like with no wind mostly, so it helps on these holes. Then it just like that, so and it's going to increase, I think.
Fantastic round, finish it off.
Thank you.
2 holes to go for him, 7 holes from home. Alexander Knapper at the tough 12th.
Yeah, tees up a little bit, but it's still 191 yards on a bit of a crosswind from left to right, water down the right.
Looked like a fully committed swing.
Yeah, they're often the ones you're trying to almost turn them into the breeze. And that's job well done. Long way from the pin, but really that's all you're looking to do. Make a par and get out of there.
Yeah, don't mess with the penalty area. Mansell must be reeling a little bit.
Yeah, not really seeing this coming. 5 drop shots in 3 holes. Looks a bit late on that one. The face is going to be open. And with that left to right wind, that's going to be wet.
Well, this is quite tough to watch, isn't it? It's all falling apart, I'm afraid, out there today for Richard Mansell. Needs to gather himself, steady the ship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's all about confidence in your own ability. And with these changing conditions, as we see Moller here, almost on the first fairway, hit driver off the tee, so playing back into the breeze. And with these changing conditions, like we saw with Mansell, you've got to take your pars and move on. It's a completely different afternoon out there now.
Nearly made a 2, nearly holed it, didn't he, from the fairway at 14 yesterday. He'll do well to make his par from there.
Drop zone for the Englishman here. And at this point, your head is scrambled. You're really struggling to know how you're going to get into the clubhouse with a decent score. He's made up for it there, but he will be dropping a shot at the 12th.
Up to 14th. 3rd shot now for Moller.
He's kept the bogeys off the card most of the week, Moller. Just a little bit tentative back into the breeze.
Back over to 12. Knapper, outside chance of a birdie, but a couple of putts would be absolutely fine.
Yeah, you can see the wind there on the flag blowing towards the waters. It's quite a quick one. You can see the colour on the green, so it is into the grain, and now it just drops down grain as it gets a bit lighter. So changing conditions out there also on the greens, not just in the air.
Andre Lisa birdied the 17th to get to 8 under. He's got a chance here at 18, so this is for a birdie finish. I didn't know whether he was walking it in or not, but clearly not. I think he realised as soon as he did it, yeah, shake of the head, hadn't given it enough.
Now just a return putt for our leader, Knapper from Germany. Yep, solid, good 2 putts. This should be the way to play the back 9. Just get in and get out of there, as many pars as possible.
Moller hold a good one, didn't he, for par earlier at 7.
You can see the trees behind really blowing now. Yeah, that's important, you can see that. He's obviously gone for the green downwind and got out of position.
Andre Lisa for par at 18. And a bogey-free round of 66. That really is good stuff from the man who won a couple of weeks ago in the Andalucía Challenge de España. 66 for his playing partner, Robin Peterson, as well, with a birdie finish. They're both at 8 under par. Let's hear from them with Kit.
Robin, how happy are you with that 3rd round effort?
Yeah, extremely happy. The conditions today are really tough, at least compared to the first couple of rounds we played. And so, yeah, 5 under, if you had told me that before the round today, I definitely would have taken it.
What was it that you did so well to put that score together?
Well, keeping the ball mostly in the fairway here is really important. The greens are pretty tough, and obviously with the wind today, it's just trying to hit as many greens as possible. And I was lucky enough to have a few be close and knock those in.
Andre, how good was it to go bogey-free in those conditions today?
I mean, it definitely helps. Especially I could be easily like 4 over after 5 holes. I made some really spectacular up and downs there, send saves and all this stuff, holding some 3-meter spot for par. So that kept the momentum going. Then I made a birdie 6-7. I was like 3 under in the time, and I was like, okay, that turned around nicely. Then the wind started picking up, and I was still keep hitting good shots, especially into the green. I wasn't that good from the tee, but into the green I was like very precise.
A chance for Lisa to win for the second time in 3 weeks and to win big here at the Challenge Tour Grand Final. More from us when we return. Challenging breezy conditions on day 3 for the later starters in the Challenge Tour Grand Final. Alexander Knapper from Germany continues to lead the way. There he is, 1 clear of Moller as he wanders to the 16th tee.
The 16th is a stunning little par 4. It's only 379 yards on the card, but you have to be accurate. I'm stood on a cliff top that flanks all the way up the left-hand side. Anything missing right, and you trundle down a slope into the trees and the shrubs, there's no future in there. Your second shot, well, you'll have a wedge in your hands, and it's to that green behind me. A couple of devilish pin positions to look out for as well. Anything at the front, you can easily spin your ball back off the putting surface. And there's a really naughty one back right on a thin slither of green just behind that bunker.
Not sure if I'll use that spot for Sunday. We'll wait and see. Here is Knapper. Just coming out of the semi. He's got some good action on it, and he'll have a pretty good look at birdie there.
Let's take a look at Knapper's swing. The man in charge right now. Good setup, neutral ball position, good grip. Makes a very full turn, a little bit long in the backswing for me. Probably got about a 6-iron in his hand, but he's very much loaded. A little bit cramped there. But I have to say, it's serving him well this week so far, and he's certainly the man to beat.
Hunting a 3rd Challenge Tour title and his first win on the Challenge Tour for some 4 years. This is Matt Ford at the 17th. Dropped 3 shots in 5 holes at the start of the back 9, but that's right over the flagstick. Chance there for him to move to 6 under.
Been a tough day for Denito. Had some back spasms, some neck spasms also. Had a bit of treatment, but he's hanging in there. Bogeys at 11 and 12 on the back 9.
Yeah, not quite as smiley as we've seen him so far this week, the man from Rome. Here's Moller out of position at 17.
Ball above his feet, so this one normally would go left. So you can almost kind of try and fade the ball from left to right to counteract that slope. Nice job done there, coming out of the rough.
Birdie's hard to come by on this back 9 so far. His last gain was at the par 5 11th. He'll have that though to join Knapper at 10 under. That's assuming Knapper doesn't hold this one at 16.
We saw he had plenty of control out of the rough, bit of spin. So outside chance here, back into the sun, which is never easy late in the day. But that's good to see, nice and positive.
Come on, Richard.
Still in the lead.
You or me?
So, for a share of the lead, Nicholas Moller.
Got a line around the middle of his ball all the way. It's becoming more and more popular in the world of golf these days. Helping people line up. Even a good tip when you practice to do it before you go out, even if you're not comfortable with it. Helps you learn to aim correctly.
Poor old Richard Mansell, I'm afraid, has had a shocker out there today. Dropped 7 shots in 5 holes around the turn. Is there a glimmer of light?
Try.
It was a good try, but no birdie at 16 for the Englishman. tough lesson.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Now, I thought Matt Ford would have a good day once the wind picked up, but he's only had one birdie out there. This is for another at 17. A few drop shots, there you go. Obviously not hold very many today. It's normally a telltale sign when you lift both hands up. Still smiling though. Yeah, go one. I'm sure it's more than that, Matt.
Di Nitto for the birdie at 17. Yeah, well done. So he advances to 4 under par.
And if the wind picks up tomorrow, you never know. So these are all important birdie putts. There's no point giving any away. Now this is an interesting one for Johannesson. Not quite sure how he's ended up over here, but he's going left or right of that tree trunk. But just needs to be careful with water behind the green. Almost running off the cush of the path. That's probably as good as he could have done. If he hit it any harder than that, he probably would have been taken on the penalty area behind the green. So trying to do his best. Doing well to get back in play, Dom.
He was careful down that slippery slope. Knapper for par.
Well done, good confidence builder with a couple to go. Keeps him at 10 under.
He looks reasonably comfortable, doesn't he? He is 1 over par, but it's not easy out there, as we've seen. Stays 1 ahead, 2 to play. This is the 17th, and Knapper, bit of a wild drive.
Yeah, a good 50 or so from the fairway. The only real rough we've seen, but it's pretty lush out there. It's been overseeded probably. And that's a fine recovery. Bunker down the right, so he was looking up the left-hand side.
Didn't have far to go, but he really had to muscle it out, didn't he? Johannesson's 4th shot now at 18.
One of the hardest shots in golf. Trying to pick it clean, keep your height on the downswing so you do thin it, but you don't want to overdo it. And that's, in truth, pretty good. A little bit unlucky, if anything. Didn't really release. Let's have a look at getting up and down. That's the main thing after being in so much trouble.
The Norwegian playing in the same group as Christopher Blomstrand from Sweden, who's 9th on the road to Mallorca. This is an eagle putt.
Tough one to judge coming up and over that ridge. It's all about this bit here. Before we see when there's too much pace, they overborrow. In truth, it was pretty difficult. Back into the sun also.
Bjorn Helgren coming up the 17th. He's found the fairway, unlike Knapper.
Yeah, really perfect angle to move some dirt and try and get it in there close. Dropped 3 shots, so he's trying to get 1 back. Might even get 2 back here. Yeah, what a shot. Take some good vibes into Sunday. I always think it's so important, Dom, the last 3 or 4 holes on a Saturday if the day hasn't been going your way, to really stick to your task. You never know what might happen on Sunday.
Johannesson for the par at 18 for a round of 69. I'm afraid that is going to be drop shot number 3 today for Christian Krogh Johannesson. 4 birdies on the card as well. And he will go into the final round at 7 under par. Giving himself a chance despite that disappointing finish.
Now birdie putt, the last for Blomstrand. Stay positive, hit through the line, left to right, just hangs on. It's 3 birdies in his last 4 for a good 69. He's very much in the hunt, even with a double bogey at the second. That's well played to stay in it. Quite a few double bogeys today. That just shows you how strong the wind has been.
Green is cleared. This is Nicholas Moller's 2nd. He's hit that low.
It's a golf shot, no question about it. But is it going to hang on? Doesn't look like it will do. It's quite strange to hit that one so low. That's a good miss, though. Lie permitted, it's not a bad spot to be. We've seen a few 3 putts from the front of the green, so getting past it's not a bad way of doing it.
Knapper for birdie at 17.
See the wind whipping around his trousers, so it's still out there late in the day.
Well, that's what he was doing yesterday, holding putts for fun. So he's back to 11 under where he started the day. He has re-established his 2-shot lead at the top. Excellent stuff.
Not a difficult shot. Just for me, balance was a problem there, really. He wasn't really set to play that. You couldn't really tell from the setup whether it was an upslope or a downslope.
He'll be disappointed, won't he? Nicholas Moller. Helgren taps in for his birdie at 17, so he goes to 5 under par. Pretty wretched day for both he and Richard Mansell in that final group, but looking for a strong finish.
Yeah, you can see from his ball position, for me, too much in the middle of his stance. He's stabbing at it rather than brushing it. Ball needs to be outside your right foot off an upslope out of that amount of grass. It's all about the strike around the green. It's really, in truth, not that difficult if your setup is correct. Now, can he get out with a par? It's one given away, but at least he hasn't dropped one, Dom.
3 birdies, just the 1 drop shot. That came at the par 3 9th, and it's a round of 69 for Nicholas Moller. 9 under, 2 behind at the moment. Knapper still has the par 5 18th to come. He's actually driven it wildly off the tee into the trees, hit it down to here. This is his 3rd shot at 18.
Ball slightly above his feet, but not much. So really should be looking to just turn this one over from right to left. That's probably the widest wedge he's hit this year, I would suggest. And as we've seen, that's not a given 2-putt. There you can see a good 35, 40 feet right of the hole.
Yeah, apart from the hole putt at 17, it's all been a little bit scrappy over the back 9 for Alexander Knapper.
Yeah, it's all about how you deal with changing conditions. This man's been chugging along quite nicely. You can see they're all about the strike with the chipping. He played that just perfectly, nice and shallow through the ball. Not too much grass between club and ball, and that was beautifully played from Helgren.
Yeah, he'll wander up. He's going to tap in. That's a birdie finish, and despite the fact that he's shot 74 today and slid back, it is a nice way to round things off, take a little bit of mental positivity into tomorrow's final round.
We've seen this once or twice this afternoon. Tough one once it gets over the ridge. Knapper here needs to be careful. You were saying, Dom, just getting a little bit ragged towards the end. Maybe the tiredness setting with the cold northerly breeze. And there's plenty left to do there. Now needs a good aggressive stroke. Plenty of pace in this one. Otherwise it would die away on him. He's hit it well. Yeah, that's unlucky. That's often the case when things go a bit ragged. Doesn't quite go your way at the end. So that's disappointing finish for our leader.
Yes, a bogey at the last. So he falls back to 10 under par. 1 ahead of Moller. Nothing really has gone right today for Richard Mansell. Apart from a good start, birdie. That's so many drop shots out there. That's that horrible run around the turn. Dropped a shot at 17. It's a birdie at 18, but from 2 behind at the start of the day, he is 7 in arrears heading into Sunday. It is Germany's Alexander Knapper who will take a 1-shot lead into Sunday.
10 under par though, you're atop the leaderboard, a shot clear. What's your strategy for tomorrow's final round?
Just stick to my strategy basically. I mean, I can play a good round tomorrow, and I'm just looking for maybe get it going a little bit better than today, and then I'll be in a good shape.
Well battled today.
Thank you.
Well battled indeed, and if he can win tomorrow, he will win by the narrowest of margins the season-long Road to Mallorca rankings as well.
Tee Golf and Country Club really showed its teeth today. The wind got up and the players had to battle hard. Alex Canappa, he maintained his lead, but a 1 over par round and everything is getting very tight. There are 14 players within 5. We're guaranteed drama, so join us tomorrow for the final round of the 2020 Challenge Tour Grand Final.